One of the things that I've enjoyed the most about just meeting other women and interacting with other women is the fact that we all realize that we can work together and we can partner together. I don't know how you can come to a Charvette event and not leave more confident in your skill set and in your gifting. And that's absolutely what I feel today, having just been in the room for the past couple days.
Anything and everything you could think of in regards to business has been discussed, from marketing to finance to planning to strategy to platform building. It's so many amazing nuggets that I can take back and actually implement and grow my business.
This is my second time coming to one of these conferences, and I'm telling you, every time I just get more fired up about what it is, what my why is.
This is going to energize me for the rest of the year and into 2024. So grateful.
All right, that is the vibe there. So again, sponsor of this show, episode 749, the Platform Builder Summit. All right, let's bring our guest back on in as we continue this conversation around letting you know 7-figure businesses, 6-figure, 5-figure, 2-figure, whatever, all need 7-figure systems. Go ahead and put your hands together as we bring Ro back up on the stage. All right, back here on the Charvette Mitchell Radio Show. Awesome. Okay, so for the listeners that are listening in and saying, okay, I like what you said in the intro around have either your first 6-figure, 7-figure, or your best 6-figure, 7-figure year. What sales strategies or related to automation that you would say you've seen work for some of your clients? Okay. And follow up, we know, is top of the list.
Yes, but I'm glad you asked that. So I think right now we live in a content world, right? And I will say content is like getting a mass invite to a party. I love giving this analogy, right? Or a wedding. Imagine you got a invite in the mail to a party or a wedding, right? And you're like, cool, maybe I'll go, maybe I won't. I don't know. Like maybe. Yeah. And versus if your friend who's hosting the party calls you up and be like, Charvette, I really need you by my side at the party. I cannot host this party without you. You're the life of any room you walk into. Then you're like, okay, I actually need to go because Roma is asking me. She's personally asking me to come. It's more personalized, right? So what are you more likely to go to? That mass party invite that you got in the mail, or your close friend who's personally messaging you and be like, Charvette, I really need you to come to this party. I really need you there by my side. What are you going to say?
No brainer, right? The number two, right?
Right, number two. And I will say, and the reason I give this is content is that mass party invite. Maybe you'll go to someone's party, maybe you won't. Now, what is that personalized invite? I say the DMs. I say you can close so many more sales in the DMs. I teach this concept to all my clients. It's called $1 million DMs, right? Wow. You don't want, content is great. It's the mass invite to the party. But if you want to make sure all your guests show up, you need to have that personalized invite of being like, hey, I really need you there. I would love you to come to my offer, to my business, to my masterclass, to my live event, right? To my conference. And people are more likely to say yes than to the mass invite that you sent out through content.
Yeah, that's such a great analogy. And a lot of times people feel like, oh, am I supposed to even be doing that? So this is like a permission slip, like direct message. Now, LinkedIn has been the spot. They've been traditionally been doing that all the time. But Instagram, Facebook, certainly that direct message is a pipeline, an inbox. Yeah.
Yeah, and I even released this series on my podcast, and you can find it on my website, is my Millionaire Mentor Series. Every single mentor I had that has reached the $1 million per year mark, not $1 million total, but $1 million per year mark, right? I'm talking about people I brought on that are doing $1 million per year, $10 million per year. They still use the DMs. They still DM their people. Yeah. So I'm like, you're not above it, you're not below it. Because if a millionaire can DM their audience, you can too. And I think where people got caught up is I don't want to feel salesy. I don't want to feel sleazy. I don't want to be like that person that's sending a 10-paragraph message. And that's not how you do it. You just talk to someone in the DMs like they're your best friend, right? And what do you do if your best friend doesn't reply to your message? This is good.
You're like, hey girl, hey girl, did you see it?
You just follow up, right?
Yeah.
And so many people someone leaves you on red, you take it personally. You're like, this person hates me, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, what would you do if your best friend, brother, sister left you on red? You just follow up. Be like, did you see it? How come you're not replying? Like, do you still love? Yeah. So take the pressure off.
So this personalization really and this kind of customization in the inbox, I talked a little bit at my conference about 2025 marketing trends
Yes.
and that how our consumers and our customers are going to are looking for more personalization, don't want to feel just like a number
Yeah.
and all of that. And that they are so much with the AI that is out. Like, is this real? Did you write this? Is it you? But, you know, a personal DM works, right?
And the way to cut through all that, I think you could do it on LinkedIn, don't quote me, but I think you could send voice messages and that puts a voice to the name. So many people, like Sharvette, like you have, your voice is so personable. People can hear through this radio show and through all the platforms, like how much you care. That voice only comes through a voice message. So if you're feeling like, okay, this person might not know me, they might just think I'm a bot, send a voice message and cut through all of that. Be like, hey, just wanted to put a voice to the text message.
And you still need a system with handling the direct messages. Still need a system.
Yeah, I think that's going back to the follow-up, right? It's cool if you send a message, but if you blow up, if you don't blow up, who cares? But like when you're posting a lot of content for example, when you're promoting the conference or something like that, a lot of content is going out at once, your DMs might be flooded. So do you have a DM hit list, like a very organized system of being like following up, hey, I didn't see you buy this. Hey, I didn't see your purchase come through. Do you still want to do it? Just a lot of follow-up.
So that, I think that is definitely the overarching theme that I hear as far as a place to focus for your automation is absolutely the follow-up. The money's in the follow-up, the money's in lists, all of those things. And so, wow, what is on the horizon for you? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, for me, I would say it's actually surprising. I never thought I would be a speaker in terms of my business, but in the last 2 months, I've been invited to 4 different places. I'm actually going in New Orleans next month to speak on exactly what I'm talking about here, DMs and automations. And we're going to do some automating live if you're in the room. But I'm just really excited because automations are great, but sometimes you just get frustrated trying to do it yourself. So if you want me in the room, I'm happy to do it for you. Yeah.
Awesome. And how should they reach out to you and connect for that type of request?
Yeah, sure. So you could just find me everywhere on Instagram, TheRoshah. It's the same, The Roshah, everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, my website. It's the same. So you'll find me no matter what platform you're on. And just send me a DM.
Just in the DM. There's your invitation. I see her. I see a message coming in saying, what are your thoughts around ManyChat?
I love ManyChat. ManyChat is great. I definitely recommend using it. I believe it's free for like the first 100 messages. So definitely use it. It's part of the tech stack or tech recommendations I mentioned earlier if you go to my website. But ManyChat is great. You just want to be mindful of like following up because you might get a bunch of DMs through ManyChat, but are you following up to make sure they bought whatever you were selling?
All right, there you go. And the goal of the show is to motivate, excite, and influence. And we want to know what continues to motivate you.
That's such a good question. What continues to motivate me?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think my clients, every time they have a breakthrough, I'm just so like my client who's 72, right? I never in my life would have even thought of helping. When I started this business, I never thought of thinking of a client profile like that. But I will say, when you learn how to automate, when you learn how to make more money, especially as a woman of color, you have permission to live your life. You have permission to live the life that you and your family and your parents and grandparents and whoever dreamed of without having to burn yourself out.
Yeah. And I think that's a great kind of note here on this Thanksgiving week and just people being thankful and all of that. And so one more time for the listeners, how can they reach you, connect with you, and the free resources that you have available on your website?
Sure. So you could go to theroshah.com and find my email series there, and you could just sign up and we'll send you all the tech recommendations that are free that you could use in your business starting tonight. And you can always DM me on Instagram, The Roshah.
All right, there you go. Personal invitation there. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. And thank you so much for sharing with our audience. And we wish you much more continued success.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sharvette.
All right. Thank you. All right. Amazing. Amazing. And so I know you picked up some nuggets, and I know that those of you who are already using automation, you're going to be taking it to the next level. And those that are saying, hey, I've been kind of holding off, now you are encouraged to move forward. If you missed anything, or you're like, oh, I missed the links, I missed where I can find her and all of that stuff, Rose Shaw, her on our website, sharvette.com, on the main radio show website, we have a full blog with her bio, links to all of the connection points. If you are listening to the podcast version, look down below in the show notes. Look down below in the show notes. If you're on YouTube, look down below in the show notes right there. Thank you. Yes, for my sister. Thank you, Ms. Roshaw. Good tips for business owners. Absolutely wonderful there. All right, it is a wrap for today. The Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show wants to say thank you to all of our listeners, our supporters throughout all of the years. I want to say, as I wrap up here, we started the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show on Blog Talk Radio 2008. Blog Talk Radio 2008, and in some way or shape or form, have run our show, at least the recording of our show, through Blog Talk Radio. And Blog Talk Radio sent out a message about 2 weeks ago that they are going out of business. So we want to thank all of those that may have listened from Blog Talk Radio. They are transitioning. Certainly you will still YouTube. All of our things are intact and all of that. But we want to shout out, if you happen to be listening from Blog Talk and we're a faithful listener there, you can join us on YouTube. It's better to watch anyway. It's better to watch us anyway. YouTube and all of the podcasts. You can subscribe to all of our podcasts there. But we thank Blog Talk Radio, and we're excited to continue offering the show, but are thankful for Blog Talk Radio because that was our start. That was our start there. And so it is a wrap. All right. We're going to see you all later on the web. Again, have an amazing holiday, and we'll see you all on episode 750. That's coming up. All right. Bye.
Live from Richmond, Virginia, you've been listening to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Catch Sharvette Mitchell every Tuesday at 6 p.m. interviewing all the stars you want to hear from. So until next week, stay motivated, excited, and influenced. This is the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show.